Hello, amazing and successful people. Today is probably going to be a short video. I just want to share a few insights on how to adjust to circumstances. That's kind of the main topic of today. And like set up non-negotiables for yourself. I'll try to relate it more to ecom, but it can definitely apply for anyone. And just that we'll talk a bit more about the ecom being like a game of numbers and how to approach that smarter. So to start with, I want to start with a very interesting quote, which you probably heard by, I believe it's by Mike Tyson. He said that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I believe that, and I've experienced it so many times that I think the main reason that happens is because we always set plans from the standpoint when we have no idea what's going on, right? And we often, especially being ambitious, especially being someone who is developing on a daily basis, who's struggling, not necessarily struggling, but experiencing some sort of challenges daily, we have no idea what's the next challenge. So for us, almost every day is sort of a challenge or a task which we don't really always know how to approach. It is often robotic tasks, but in the same time, you want to grow, you want to do something differently, right? So you have to adjust, you have to understand what you've done differently and why something hasn't worked, or maybe worked and how you can make it work better, right? And so that's the mindset that you have to approach everything with. And the byproduct of this mindset is obviously planning becomes extremely hard. So adjusting to circumstances is an extremely important skill to have. I would never say probably that I mastered completely, because at any point of time I want to have something new and something crazy that I'll be experiencing and have to sort of adapt to. Because at this point, if you don't experience any like different circumstances, if you're doing same thing over and over years, that just means you don't change, you stagnate, right? So I want this to happen. I want this to keep happening in my life, that my circumstances actually trying to get me off track. But I want to just more of a get used to that and master the skill of finding a way to adjust to them. So what I've learned just today, actually, a small thing I realized about myself, probably some of you can relate to that too, that often when we have these plans, we have a system set up for our routines, for everything. And we realize something doesn't work, or something doesn't go in a way that we've planned it. And so at this point, you often get extremely discouraged. I personally often not only get discouraged, but more like slow down, because I'm like, that's supposed to work. I've done that before. Why does it not work? What's the solution, right? So you start thinking of the solutions. Not always you can come up with them right away. I think I'm gonna mention two key points here. First, how to approach this situations is if you don't know the solution, if you want to find a solution, talk to someone who kind of can get you out of it right away. All right. So that could be your business partner, that could be your friend, that could be your, I don't know, relative, that could be anyone. Talk to someone who you might have a chance of getting something beneficial from. That is extremely important, because it's the only way you are likely to get out of this and find a solution fast. That's first. It rarely works, to be honest, because you don't always have people around, you don't always have the right people around, and that might be extremely narrow sort of challenge that might be only applicable to you. So it's good to have people, but they don't always help. So you gotta find a way through it yourself. So my approach, which I want to share, is not letting this bring you down, don't letting this discourage you. You learn something valuable right now. If you face those challenges, which were are not planned, obviously, that means that's something new. That's just an opportunity to grow. That's a really good mindset to have, is to see those challenges as like, okay, I didn't know that before. So now I know because I tried. I know that now. Next time will be better. But next time will be tomorrow. I think this is extremely important to, whatever you plan for that day, complete it. If it takes longer, if it's you think it's impossible, try to complete as much as you can, or at least put the same amount of effort or even more effort to try to complete that. Kind of make this whole plan for that day non-negotiable. Yes, it's harder than you thought probably. Maybe it's even impossible. You didn't know, right? So you approach that and it turns out that's different. That happens all the time. So do your best. Do your best, obviously. Stuff that you should definitely set as non-negotiable. I'm going to talk about that a bit later. But trying to complete as much as you can, and later in the evening when you set up basically new plans, plan the following day, again, you have this in mind. So every single day, you're going to have a new mindset to approach the following day with. You're going to have a more understanding of yourself, of what you can complete, of the things you need to do, and you're going to understand how much time it takes now. So do that, and sometimes it's actually the opposite. Sometimes it turns out that you completed everything in the day way faster than you planned it, and so you have a bunch of time. So next in the same day, in the evening, you can plan the next day with the packet with more things to do, because you now know you're capable of that. And that's important. That's how I personally adjust. I don't try to like find a solution right away or get emotional and solve it, because that never ends up well. You get extremely exhausted. You also bring this kind of mood into the next day. Calm down, find yourself in the confident and more of a confident spot, and just move on the way you planned. Adjust later in the evening for the next day. I think that's an important point. And next point is to have non-negotiables. There are things you do every day that, or maybe a bit rare, like more rare, a few times a week or so. Anyway, some sort of repetitive tasks which you do, which have to be like set stone. You have to do them. There's non-negotiable, and you usually have to set time for all of them. That could be your routine, I don't know, journaling, or that could be, for me personally, for e-commerce, like creating ads. And so set non-negotiables, and like do not let yourself go to sleep until you complete all of them. Because this is, if you are in the mindset, if you're able to prove to your own mind that everything you tell yourself you're going to complete, you complete, that's just going to maintain the momentum, it's going to grow the momentum, you're going to get more done over time. And even new things that you're going to approach, it's going to be so easy for you, because you're going to be approaching them with a new mindset of like winner, of the someone who is achieving everything, right? And does what you say. That's a good mindset to have. And in terms of regarding the e-com, I just mentioned it's a game of numbers, and I believe a lot of businesses are the game of numbers. So the goal here is to have a lot of non-negotiables, to be honest, and to complete them. First of all, to complete them, and to do it better. Of course, you're gonna get better. Hopefully, you're gonna get better over time, and trying to be more effective, trying to complete more of them. So in my case, I've started like my dropshipping journey with testing, one product a week. If it doesn't work, maybe for a few weeks, and I kind of see some sales, see some traction, it kind of works, kind of doesn't. So I kind of spend a few weeks on testing one product, and then if it ends up not working after a few tests of like running campaigns for a few days each, I switch. And that takes me a month or so, maybe a bit less. That's not my maximum by far. And so right now I'm at the point where I'm almost able to test one product every day. Just because of the understanding of how first of all, I set up all the systems for that. I know how to create a website. I know how to research. I know what to look for. This is a good thing to learn. Is not how to be successful, but how to know how to be successful. That's a good thing to learn, because this is repeatable. If you do it once, you're gonna be able to do it more. If you get lucky, you're never gonna be able to repeat that, unless you get lucky again, I guess. So that's how I approach it. I'm about to actually set up some non-negotiables for myself for the following week. Today is Sunday, and then just move with a faster speed, testing several products a week, running. You actually can like calculate it approximately for yourself. If you had some experience in dropshipping or e-commerce, you can understand how long it takes, how many products it takes to get a winner, and how many videos or any sort of ads you have to create to get a winner. That could be different for any industry, any niche, and anyone in general. If you calculate that, you can just break it down how much you need to get done to get the winner approximately, and in how much time you want to dedicate to that on every day to achieve that by a certain point. I don't care really. I'm trying to do as much as I can, as long as I don't exhaust myself. I'm trying to do it as much as I can because I'm never gonna stop. Like, I don't care. It's my life. But that might help you just bring more clarity to your work. And yeah, I think that's something I wanted to say today, and I hope you enjoyed that short little video, and see you in the next one.